Them a see a week show. It's them a see a week show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's them a see a week show. It's them a see a week show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's the Marcia Week Show. Talk truth, build roots, stories unfold. Motivate change, mobilize is the mode, that's the MR code. Hey! We growing, we know it.
Blood in the street where children used to play. Mothers on their knees don't know what to say. Brothers turn against brothers, hearts gone cold. We've traded love for silver, we've sold our soul. But if we humble, if we pray, turn from the darkness, seek your face. Heal our land, oh Lord, heal our land. Hear the cry rising from the sand. We repent, we turn again. Wash we hearts, make we whole. Heal our land, oh Lord, here we plead. From the hills to the deep blue sea, mercy fall like island rain. Heal our land, Lord, once again. Heal our land, Lord, once again. Sirens in the night, another life gone. Fathers missing, the guidance done gone. We forget the roots that make us strong. Now every righteous turning wrong. But if we humble, if we pray, turn from the darkness, seek your face. Heal our land, oh Lord, heal our land. Hear the cry rising from the sand. We repent, we turn again. Wash we hearts, make we whole. Heal our land, oh Lord, here we plead. From the hills to the deep blue sea, mercy fall like island rain. Heal our land, Lord, once again. If we call on you, you will answer. If we turn from sin, you will hear us. If we seek your face, you will heal us. We humble, we self, we cry out today. Take the violence, take it away. Plant your love where fear has grown. Make the silence yours alone. If my people, called by my name, will humble themselves and pray. Heal our land, oh Lord, heal our land. Yeah, hear the cry rising from the sand. We repent, we turn again. Wash we hearts, make we whole. Heal our land, oh Lord, here we plead. From the hills to the deep blue sea, mercy fall like island rain. Heal our land, Lord, once again. Heal our land. Lord have mercy, save us all. Heal our land.
Well, we want to welcome you to this another Marcia Week show coming to you from the beautiful island of Barbados. And at the moment, I can't hear anything coming into my headset. I'm going to check on that in just a couple of minutes. Dave, I'm going to ask you to just prepare that song that we did at the beginning again and give me a chance to check out my audio. Just dropped out on me, but I'm sure you're listening and you're hearing me. And if you are, loud and clear. Thank you so very much. I'm a big girl for letting me know that you're hearing me loud and clear. I'll sort out my headset in just a few minutes as we probably go through another segment of the show tonight. But yeah, my video is sticking a little bit, Judy. Again, you know, these internet issues that we have are not always flowing as beautiful and as smooth as we like them to. But God willing, we'll get through the night without too many problems. So let me welcome all of you joining us tonight on the Marcia Week show. Wherever you're joining us from, yeah, we know we have guests coming in from the United States, from Canada, from UK, some other countries of the Caribbean. And we want to welcome all of you. And also, we want to welcome our loyal opposition. Great to have all of you joining us tonight. We have a pretty tight session, so I'm just going to take a few minutes to, after I do the pledge, to just welcome some of you individually, okay? I may not get through with all of you, but forgive me for that because we do have, like I said, a tight session this evening, all right? So here we go. Tonight, we want to repeat our national pledge, as I always do when I host the show. I believe it is one of the most important commitments that we make as a people. And this has nothing to do with political parties or politics in anything of the sort. It has to do with the fact that I am a citizen of Barbados and I am proud of my country. So repeat it after me or along with me because it's on the screen for you all to see. I pledge allegiance to my country, Barbados, and to my flag, to uphold and defend their honor, and by my living to do credit to my nation wherever I go. That is the commitment that we have made to our country, and we stand by it tonight as we not only go through this evening, but as we live in this nation, we stand by that pledge. So let me take this opportunity to welcome some of you individually here on the show. Again, Marcia Miller, great to have you with us this evening. And I know I'm going to get some help with the others helping me put up some of the stuff here on the screen. Tyrone Hall, great to have you with us this evening. And Judy, thank you again for just sharing with me that you're hearing me loud and clear. Good evening to you as well. Marva Lashley, a real joy to have you back with us this evening. Marcia Miller, again, welcome to the show. Nice to have you all. I don't know all of you by face, and I'm not the greatest at all the names, to be honest, but I remember faces reasonably well. Bajan Boy, good to have you with us this evening. A pleasure to welcome you to the show this evening as well. Sandra Brewster and Aaron Hunt, great to have all of you joining us. And remember to like and share. Please remember to like and share so that we can have some increase in terms of the algorithms that, you know, give this show its highlight, so to speak. Let me also welcome Andrea Critchlow. And let me see here. I'm a big girl. I think I mentioned you a few moments ago. Lucinda Aline, great to have you with us this evening. Let me just slide down a little bit more. Well, there's the Marcia Week show. Well, that was me. So that's fine. Laurie Bob, good to have you back with us. And Monica Ince, wonderful to have you with us again tonight as well. I haven't seen Mr. Alfred Benjamin for a little while. I hope he comes on tonight. Hope we get to see him. Calendar 2463. Welcome to the show this evening. Sylvia Rock, a joy to have you with us tonight. Oh my goodness, Beverly, yes, Beverly Prescott, and let me just slide down. Mildred Ben, nice to have you back with us this evening. Uh, Calendar, I think I called you already. Calendar, right? I did that. Cami, no, let me get this one here. Cami JN3KW. And I don't know if that's kilowatts, Cami, but if it is, or even if it's not, welcome to the show tonight. And Tyrone Blackman, good to have you here. Queen D, 246. A pleasure to have you joining us this evening. Sonia Perch. So many of you I'm running to on the road, and while I may not know you personally, you're making yourself known to me. Sherry Johnson, great to have you with us this evening. And we just want to welcome all of you to the show tonight. We have a packed show this evening, and I'm going to try to cover as much as we can, if not all of it, throughout the entire night. We are going to be having with us this evening. Again, we had such a great time the last time we were on the show together, but we are going to have, of course, the Mic on the Move, which is going to be an interesting segment dealing with Gospel Fest as a solution for some of the challenges that we're having in Barbados. And then joining me at 8 o'clock will be Carolyn Rock. My goodness, how we've been enjoying the time with her on the shows. And again tonight as well at 8:30, God willing, we're going to be having Apostle Lynroy Scantlebury joining us. And then at 9 o'clock, very, very important segment, we're going to be having an international segment with persons from the Muturu Primary School project in Kenya. They'll be joining us at 9 o'clock. And then, of course, at 9:30, your opportunity to come on in with your comments and your questions. And we look forward to hearing from all of you. We'll try to share some of your comments as we're going through the night. And I know that Dave will be giving me a great help with that. Now, before I get into the segment too deeply tonight, first of all, let me just again express on behalf of the Marcia Week show, behalf of my family, my wife and my family, and our entire ministry, our deepest condolences to Mr. Ralph Thorne for the loss of his brother. And I'm going to ask you, Dave, if you could put that flyer up, because I believe his interment is going to be tomorrow. I believe that is the correct date. Just bring it right up for me, Dave, that I can see it. It's going to be tomorrow. Yes, there we go. Tomorrow, Saturday, the 25th at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that funeral service is going to be at St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Cathedral in Jemmotts Lane. And we certainly want to thank Dave for his contribution, not only in terms of politically, but generally in life, period, from what I've heard. We want to thank Dave and to thank St. John, thank Barbados as we walk in love with the family. And we are looking forward to you joining us at that funeral service. I'm going to do my best to be there. If it is at all possible, I'll try to get there. And but I want to make sure that we give Mr. Thorne, Ralph Thorne, our full support, and be there to support the family and to share in this. I call it celebration. While we are certainly saddened at his loss, we are celebrating all that he has contributed on a national level and in our country. So we want you to know of this. Tomorrow at St. Patrick's Cathedral, Jemmotts Lane, 10 o'clock in the morning. All right? Thank God. Amen. Thank you so very much, Dave. We also want to take a few moments as we begin this segment. I noted over the last couple of days, and I believe it was also mentioned on Wednesday night, concerning an event that was supposed to be held by the Barbados Labour Party on Heroes Day. That would have been April the 20. Let me make sure I get the date correct, because I don't want to be wrong on it. April the 28th. That would have been Tuesday, I think, coming next Tuesday. And I saw and shared on my Facebook page with regards to the Marcia Week show, making an appeal to the Prime Minister to, in the time that we have and what we're going through as a country, to give consideration to canceling or postponing this event in respect and in honor of the significant loss we have had of life on this island over the past 4 months. These faces of these young men, all young men that we have lost, families that are grieving, mothers and fathers that are grieving, siblings, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, grandparents that are grieving. This should be a nation in mourning, not a nation in rejoicing, but a nation in mourning for the loss of these lives. And you know, some people don't see the necessity for us to be engaging in this manner. But I want to say, you know, it's all well and good and dandy for you to talk when it's not your child. But I want to say to you tonight that if it happens to your child, you are going to want to have the support of the entire country. And that's why we are pausing over this weekend, this evening, even in the session tonight, to reflect on this situation in Barbados. And as I mentioned that, I want to read a press release with regards to this cancellation. Now, I want to make it clear that this is not a case in which we are rejoicing or anything of that sort. We are certainly grateful and thankful that the Prime Minister has heard the call and that call has prevailed within her heart. And, you know, just last night, I was a part of a tremendous prayer gathering at Golden Square, Freedom Square in Bridgetown. And one of the prayers that one of the ministers prayed was to do with the removal of the stony heart from out of the people of our nation and out of our nation, and the removal of the stony heart from out of our political people, our political directorate, out of the Prime Minister, members of Parliament, members of the Democratic Labour Party, the Barbados Labour Party, the APP, the UPP, whatever they are. We prayed last night for the removal of the stony heart from out of the people of our nation and the replacing of that stony heart with a heart of flesh, a heart that feels, a heart of empathy, a heart that experiences the pain and the agony of those persons tonight who are mourning the loss of family members. And so we are certainly thankful and grateful to the Prime Minister for canceling the Heroes Day picnic and rally that was scheduled for April the 20th and 28th. And to that end, I want to read a statement that has been given to me for me to share with you on the show tonight. Earlier this week, there was a national conversation about how we mark this moment, about timing, sensitivity, and when leadership looks like and what leadership looks like in a time of grief. We have since taken note that the event scheduled for National Heroes Day by the Barbados Labour Party has been cancelled. We acknowledge that decision, not as a victory for any one person or platform, but as a sign that Barbados is listening, reflecting, and responding to the moment we are in. Because this is never about a single event. It is never about a single person or about this show or any of us on this show. It is about something far deeper, the need for pause, for reflection, and for a sense of national balance at a time when many in our country are hurting. And so tonight, we do not continue that debate. We move forward. The question now is not what was cancelled. The question is, what will we do with this moment? Will we simply move on, or will we take the time to reflect on who we are and who we are becoming? On April the 28th, National Heroes Day, we are inviting Barbados to do something simple but meaningful. To pause, to reflect, and to remember. To honor those who built this nation and to acknowledge the lives that we have lost. Throughout that day, we will be hosting a Pause and Reflect Barbados national broadcast, bringing together voices from across the country through prayer, reflection, music, poetry, and conversation. You can join us from wherever you are, at home, at work, or in your community. This is not about politics. This is about people. This is about nationhood. And so tonight, we extend an invitation. Barbados, take this moment. Pause. Reflect. Remember. And together, let us consider the question: if they built this nation, what are we building now? And so we want to, on the 28th of April, pause. Last night at Golden Square Freedom Park, we paused in our country as ministers from all around the nation, pastors, reverends, the chairperson of the Barbados Christian Council was present, the leader of the Pentecostal Assembly, the bishop of the New Testament Church and the Wesleyan Church, along with a myriad of other pastors and ministers and preachers, reverends, apostles, bishops from all over the country came together to pray and lift this country up before the Lord. Because for the past 300 more years, the Lord has been the people's guide. This is enshrined in our national anthem. And so tonight we are inviting Barbados to pause on the 28th of April and to reflect on where we have come from as a country and where we want to go, how we get there, and what we want to look like. We want to be a nation that feels, a nation that experiences, feels the sensations of those who are living with difficulties, whether they be the elderly or those who are sick or those who are grieving, those who are struggling to make ends meet. We want as a nation to reflect a sense of empathy and to reflect on where we have come from and where we want to go. And so we invite you to join us on April the 28th. April the 20th. Let me make sure I get that date right. April the 28th, that is next week, Tuesday, Heroes Day. Join us as we go through the day, reflecting, remembering, pausing, giving God thanks for how he has spared this country from the ravages of the weather systems that we face every year. And we are on the brink of entering into another hurricane season, which is scheduled to commence in June, the 1st of June. We are thankful to God for how he has kept us as a people. And in spite of what we are experiencing, we are confident that our God is able to turn it around. One of the ministers last night made the statement that the soul of this country is not for sale, and that we will stand on the behalf of this nation and turn what is happening in this country around, not just simply by verbalizing prayers, but by action, by adding action to our faith, feet to our faith, helping one another in our communities. This is not a call that should even go forth from the leader of our country. It is a call that goes forth from the body of Christ to the entire nation to stand together and to feel for each other. That is our Christian duty. We are supposed to bear one another's burdens. We rejoice with those that do rejoice, and we weep with those who weep. And as Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says, and I didn't intend to bring that up tonight, but I am going to take the moment to make mention of it before we move into our next segment, or our first segment this evening, as we read in the book of Ecclesiastes and chapter 3. And I want to read it for you, that famous portion of scripture that says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal. This is the time to heal, brothers and sisters, citizens of Barbados, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Timing is important. Timing is important. And all the experiences that I have just mentioned in these verses are appropriate at certain times. The secret to having peace with God and the secret to having peace, period, is to discover, accept, and appreciate God's perfect timing. And so we as a nation are going to take this season, this time, to pause, to reflect, and to remember. And so we welcome you to this show tonight, and we go into our first segment this evening. In this segment, we're going to be dealing with the perspective of GOSPELFEST being a critical component of this process of healing as a nation, a critical component of bringing about the change that we so desire to see in our country and in our nation, having experienced all that we have gone through over the past 4 months. And so I'm going to ask Dave, as we move into this first segment of Mike on the Move, we are going to be looking at GOSPELFEST as a solution to the condition that we are facing in our country today. Go right ahead, Dave.
I've been introduced as Adrian. I'm Adrian Ricardo Eargard. I was born to a dad and mom, Darnley and Gentile, at Reed Road, the garden in St. James. My father was, and mom, both of them were laborers. My mom later worked as a staff cook at a hotel on the West Coast. My first school was in Albans Infants, at the time located just across the street from St. Albans Anglican Church. Both the school and the church are in reality a stone's throw away from Thunder Bay, St. James. If you had never heard of Thunder Bay before this week, surely you know of it now. 3 more of our young men lost their lives there on Sunday night. I give you that background to let you know that that is my community. I often reflect on my early upbringing, just about half a mile from there at Reeds Road, the garden. My mother made sure I attended Sunday school regularly, and she ensured that I went to church. She watched over my life carefully, what I did, where I went, who I associated with. And she constantly spoke the word of God into me. I can still hear those scriptures. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, by taking heed thereto according to thy word. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, Those words were not just spoken, they were planted. I was immersed in the things of God. She covered me like a hen covers her chicks. And even when she was not there, something remained. It was like an invisible line, something within me that would pull me back when I stepped too far. I would find myself in places, in situations, and something inside would say, this is not for you, you don't belong here. That restraint wasn't physical, but it was real. Today, when I look across our nation, I can't help but feel that this is what is missing for many of our young people. That kind of guidance, that kind of covering, that kind of grounding in God. I captured a clip from last Sunday, where a person I assumed to be a prominent businessman in Barbados wrote, and I quote, "Bible school will not put bread on the table." Here is what the Bible says at Matthew 4, verse 3, speaking of Jesus. Now the tempter came to him, he said, "If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread." But he, Jesus, answered and said, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." Another verse that came to mind when I read that passage in the Son, Proverbs 14:12 and 16:25, there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end is the way of death. Pardon me, but there comes a time when it is impossible to remain silent. And I would encourage my Christian brethren and leaders in this nation with us to be bold in declaring the truth of the gospel. This is the third year that the situation in Barbados has caused me to consult and reflect on the foundational symbols of the nation, one of them, the Barbados national anthem. Today, in our 60th year of independence, I reflect again on those words. The Lord has been the people's guide for past 300 years. With him still on the people's side, we have no doubts or fears. That's a declaration from the national anthem. But all of us know about the fear that grips our nation today. And we must ask the question, why? Because the word tells us that this Lord, mentioned in our national anthem, at Hebrews 13, his past works confirm his present faithfulness, and his present care guarantees our future hope. Reminding us that he is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He does not change. But we are prone to change and step away from the things that we're supposed to be anchored in. And as the saying goes, you sow to the wind, you reap the whirlwind. At this moment, our nation, the call is pretty simple to our nation. People don't like to hear it. They say you're religious, but there's a need to return to God. As Barbados commemorates the 60th anniversary of independence, Barbados GOSPELFEST 2026 reflects the enduring heritage of gospel music ministry and the creative expression that continues to shape the spiritual and cultural life of our nation. There are a number of initiatives we are focusing on this year. The Salt and Light initiative is underpinned by Jesus' words in Matthew that tells us who we are. The salt of the earth, the light of the world. He also tells us what we are to do. This year, we're using the platform of Barbados GOSPELFEST to remind and encourage believers in Barbados to be the salt, to be the light in our communities, in our workplaces, in our schools. We have developed over the years specialists in ministries within our churches. We have the worship team. We have the multimedia team. the ushers, and the evangelism team. I want to remind us, whichever team you are a part of in your assembly, your church, your meeting hall, we are first Christians, followers of our Lord Jesus Christ, with a responsibility to reach out, to touch, to communicate, and to live out the gospel in our communities, in our workplace, in our schools. There are a number of opportunities offered to you this year to engage with persons around you who may not yet have an experience with God, or who, for some reason, might have fallen away. We are encouraging Christian people across our nation to pray for 2 people or more. Invite them in need, walk with them to one of the events of Barbados GOSPELFEST 2020. We are making a deliberate effort to build up Barbados GOSPELFEST in a few other ways. Through the influence of my wife, Grace, she has a great influence on me. Very cool. I had the privilege to attend the launch of an inspirational art exhibition at Sugarcane Mall over Street. There I was confronted by some amazing pieces of art and heard of the challenges these persons who create art with themes about God have in placing their work in some areas. In short, some places they're not welcome. This morning in the room, you have examples of this art. And you've already heard from the amazing lady, Carolyn Rock. We are determined to ensure that during GOSPELFEST 2026, this art is highlighted. You will be able to engage with these wonderful artists and their work at Laughter and Jazz, Ultimate Gospel, and One Awesome Day. Last year, when I was interacting with some gifted young people, young Christian artists, I was amazed at their skill on the instruments and the commitment to training. Many of them having already completed music training at the community college here in Barbados, and some pursuing degrees at UWI, not to be a doctor or a lawyer, but in music. I observed this skill, heard the clarity in communicating the gospel, and commented that these persons seldom, if at all, get coverage by our news media. Such coverage seemed reserved for the bad boys on the front pages of our newspaper. I reflected later on my comment and found myself asking myself, and yes, I do talk to myself sometimes, whose responsibility is it to promote the talented, gifted young people of God in Barbados? And I answered myself, it is the people of God who has that responsibility. Therefore, I cannot be upset when bikes in Barbados, receiving all of the weekly offerings from our churches across this island, or our fuel companies where we must go to fill our tanks, respond to our request for partnership by saying we do not support religious activities or politics. Indeed, this morning we welcome and continue to welcome partnership and support of our corporate partners represented. At the same time, I want to say to the people of God in Barbados, we have demonstrated commitment for these past 32 years. Support Barbados GOSPELFEST in your prayers, yes. In your attendance, yes, but also financially. In short, we cannot leave it to others to support and promote the things of God. Consistent with the commitment to our talented artists in the various disciplines, Barbados GOSPELFEST 2026 will be a celebration of the talents and gifts of our people in music, singing, dance, miming, spoken word, and the visual arts. Our first activity, Barbados GOSPELFEST 2026, normally listed in our program is the Thanksgiving service. This year that falls on Sunday, May 24th, coincided with what is referred as Pentecost Sunday. On that day, a group of churches here, under the Enoch Banner will be holding a joint service at Kensington Hall. Normally, we would join an assembly for our Thanksgiving service, but that is where we will be, at Kensington Hall. And that will form our Thanksgiving service for 2026. Later that evening, our first legacy event is entitled Raise a Song. It will take place at the Christian Mission Gospel Tabernacle. It's at the corner of Lightfoot Lane and Tudor Street. And I was going over, I got some information from them. This is a church, when I talked to you about my mother, they also communicated it's within the context of the Christian Mission Church at the Garden in St. James. This church has a tremendous history. 1890, they touched down in Barbados and impacted the country in an amazing way. And there's a tradition in these churches where on a Sunday evening you get the service where you will come and give a testimony, share a verse of scripture, raise a song. Any of you familiar with it? We're going to relive that evening. It's going to be amazing. And I can't wait for it. So that takes place on the evening of the 24th, and it's free to the public. Just bring your tambourine and come. Hymn Speak Now in its 20th year is another legacy event. It will be held on Tuesday, May 26th at the St. Mary's Anglican Church. The venue that has hosted Hymn Speak for 18 of its 20 years. Our next event is Legacy on the Bay, staged each year in honor of the trailblazer of Barbadian Caribbean gospel expression, Joseph Niles. It will be held at Savvy on the Bay, that's the food court area, on Wednesday, May 27th. This event not only celebrates legacy, it inspires the future. It continues to offer a platform for many of our emerging young artists to get their first experience on a national event. It is an absolutely vibrant evening. And the place to be on Wednesday, May 27th. On the morning of Thursday, May 28th, in association with the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited, and in partnership with the Inter-School Christian Fellowship, we present Future Ready, Preparing Today, Leading Tomorrow. This is our annual engagement with hundreds of primary school children preparing to transition to secondary school. Laughter and Jazz will be held at Savvy on the Bay, Eden Gardens on Friday, May 29th. And will feature James Small, music and word featuring jazz singer Abiya Fenty and comedian Simon Allen. We continue our goal of inspiring the future on Saturday, May 30th at 9 a.m. with the Signal Globe Artist Development Workshop at Sky Mall. And thanks to Signal Globe's participation in this workshop, it is free. It has benefited many over the years, and we only need to visit Barbados GOSPELFEST website to register. And then we come to Ultimate Gospel, A Taste of the Caribbean on that Saturday evening at the Abundant Life Assembly. And this year we pay tribute to two stalwarts of international gospel music ministry who passed away within the last year, Ron Connolly and Bridget Small. The Barbados GOSPELFEST Mass Choir will be joined by persons such as Ferdinand Nichols, James Nichols, Dave Briggs, along with an orchestra of skilled Barbadian musicians in what promises to be a memorable evening of gospel celebration. You're going to come to that. It's going to be amazing. Another grand finale, Barbados GOSPELFEST 2026. We celebrate the 60th year of Barbados independence and the 33rd year of this festival. Courts, One Awesome Day, will this year be a free event for the public. This is where our outreach to our communities culminates, and with an explosion of talent across disciplines such as dance, music, and singing. While these activities are taking place on the main stage in collaboration with ICF, we'll also be staging the Sheffet and Frosty's Kids Experience in the Children's Park. This was an amazing success last year, and we look forward to welcoming the children. You absolutely do not want to miss any aspect of Court's One Awesome Day 2026. In closing, to the wider community of Barbados, I'm encouraging you to take up, to all my Christian brothers and friends, I'm encouraging you to take up the Salt of Life initiative. Last year in my own community, we were able to bring together about 30 persons and ensure that they were taken to Florida, taken care of. And we've maintained contact with those people over this past year. Take the challenge. Pray for two or more. Invite two or more. Walk with two or more. And come and let's see what the Lord will do in our nation. I thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was Mr. Adrian Agard sharing with us concerning the upcoming Gospel Fest events. You will be hearing more as time draws closer with regards to that period of time, so that you will know what events you can attend, the jazz, the laughter, the those sessions, those segments in terms of the legacy. And I am certainly looking forward to a great Gospel Fest season this year. We continue with our Mic on the Move.
Oh, good afternoon again. I'm here with the lovely Stephanie Speaks.
Hi, Marcia.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Stephanie, I have known you. Everybody said no when they were little. Am I getting old? Stephanie, I knew you from you were a little girl.
Maybe you might be just getting old.
But Stephanie, you're here at the launch of Gospel Fest, and I saw you sitting there and you were beaming, just enjoying the speeches and the performances, etc. What does Gospel Fest mean to you?
Gospel Fest is such an important event in Barbados, especially at this time, this climate in Barbados. We're seeing so much violence among our young people. So we do have a group of young people involved in Gospel Fest, and I think that's very important because the young people need to know there is something more out there than what they are experiencing and living in Barbados at this moment.
Yes, you are so correct. We just saw what happened there on the beach, and then even the next day, gunshots were fired, children at the bus stops, etc. And your father, your father's ministry, what's the name of it?
So my dad's ministry is Street Gospel Ministries, and my father deals predominantly with men. So he deals with men coming out of the prison system, the rehabilitation system, and the psychiatric system. And this is something that Barbados really needs in our community. We have an influx of men going into the prison system. We have an influx of men going into the psychiatric system. So we really want to let people know there are people and there is an organization out there that is working on the behalf of people who need to know that there is change and there can be change in their lives.
How long your dad has been doing street gospel ministry?
He's been doing street gospel ministries before I was born, and I'm just going to leave that there and you can make that guess for yourself.
Oh, wow. And I know it wasn't 5 years.
And it wasn't 5 years.
But, your dad, Steve he has partnered with Gospel Fest. Tell me about that partnership.
So he's partnered up with Gospel Fest because his motto is taking the word to the world. And that's something that Adrian and his team is doing with Gospel Fest as well. So the partnership is to help come together for all ages and stages and walks of life to just share the gospel and let people know in regard to, celebrating and having all these great events. We want to also take a serious stand where our men, our women, and our young people are involved, just letting them know about the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow. I mean, your organization fits, I think, hands and gloves with Adrian.
Yes.
With Gospel Fest, especially when you think of events like Farley Hill,
Yes.
One Awesome Day.
One Awesome Day. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
so-
correct.
yeah.
So we're there. The Street Gospel Ministries team is there at Gospel Fest and all the events, but they are there on One Awesome Day, and they are doing ministering and they're talking to people. And that's something that is kind of behind the scenes that people don't understand is so important. So many people go to One Awesome Day and they hear the music and they hear the word and it touches their spirit. And then they leave and they don't know where to go, what to do, who to talk to. So Street Gospel Ministries is there. We have people on the scene. People are there that you can come talk to while you're on Farley Hill, or you can talk to after the events are over, and you still need to know there's somebody that is there to listen to you and to take you one step further.
Yeah. What would you, as a representative of Street Gospel Ministries, say to churches, concerning Gospel Fest? What would you want to say to them?
Churches, you really need to come on board with Gospel Fest. There's a little bit too much this church and that church. We're all one body in Christ. We're all trying to get the message of the gospel out there. We want everyone to be able to come together, because it's just not about one church or one organization. It's about Barbados at this point. We need to come together to create a stronger Barbados.
Yes, this is awesome. I mean, I moved just listening to you. And, I've seen you guys at Gospel Fest with your shirts on, and you're praying for people and you're sharing the gospel with them. And, it's a real pleasure speaking to you, and I could feel the passion of it. And what's your favorite event?
Oh, my favorite event is probably, and this might surprise you, but probably Hymn Speak.
Hymn Speak?
I'm a big singer girl. I love singing. So I love
Can
to.
you sing?
Of course I can sing. What kind of question is that? Of course I can sing. So I love the hymns. I love to hear the singing. I love to hear, yeah. So that's probably my favorite one. My dad is probably, you're going to find my dad at Savvy on the Bay. He loves the jazz and laughter.
I know your dad
Yes.
loves to laugh. He's one person.
Oh, yeah.
He has a good sense.
He has a great sense of
and he
humor.
loves to laugh.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at Laughter Jazz.
So you'll see him there.
Yes, I'm coming to most of them.
All right. Thanks so much,
Definitely
Marcia.
One Awesome Day. We're taking a busload of people to One Awesome Day.
Okay,
Yeah?
great.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
You know what I was talking? I didn't answer to look in.
Well, there you have it, a testimony of this young lady that has been a part of Gospel Fest for quite a long time, and that ministry, Street Gospel Ministries, I'm familiar with that. They've been doing a great job on the street, and let me just say this, one of the things you realize about the body of Christ, and this, I'm talking about the church. I'm not talking about your denomination, and I'm not talking about your building. I'm talking about the people. You see, Jesus's view of the church is not a building, it's people. That's his view, and I will go with his view. But one of the things I've observed is that we are all so very different. Some of us like classical music. Some of us love hymns. Some of us love the reggae songs that we hear. I remember years ago when they were introducing for the first time into church steel pan. Man, it was bare bacchanal in opposition. Today, steel pan is heard in several churches. I remember then when they were introducing keyboards and pianos into church services, and we were used to the organs, the organ music and so on, and there were people who were resistant to it. Listen, folk, we're different. There are different gifts. And as soon as we finish the next video, I'm going to come back to you and talk for a few moments about your body. All right? So, Dave, let's hear this one as we continue to hear what Gospel Fest events are going to be doing in terms of reaching out to our communities.
Well, good afternoon. I'm here with are you the director for ISCF?
Yes, please.
Well, ISCF, a very important organization. Through ISCF is how I met my husband, actually.
Wonderful. ISCF is doing that for years,
Yes.
bringing good people together,
Good people together.
creating good godly families,
Yes.
and blessing the nation. Yeah.
Those who don't know what the acronym stands for, what does it stand
Okay,
for?
ISCF is Interschool Christian Fellowship. People will also be familiar with the University and Colleges Christian Fellowship, which is like our tertiary chapters, UCCF. So you hear both ISCF and UCCF.
Yeah.
That's most common. Maybe people from way back when will know also InterVarsity Christian
Yes.
Fellowship. So you'll have IVCF as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Wonderful. Well, I mean, there's an amazing partnership with Gospel Fest.
Yes.
And I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Tell me about
So
that.
this is our third year working very closely with Barbados Gospel Fest.
Yes.
We're really excited for the opportunity we've had to serve alongside Adrian and the team in bringing the gospel close to people, especially because of their concern for reaching young people, which lines up directly with the work of ICF. So the Kids Experience program that is run, both the one for the primary school students that are transitioning into secondary schools on the Thursday, and then the Kids Experience that is at Courts One Awesome Day at Farley Hill. We've been working closely with both of those events and involved in the activities that happen there. A lot of the ministry that takes place comes out of our ICF chapters, and many of our volunteers work alongside the Gospel Fest team in ministering to the students when they come to the events. Yeah.
And what are the numbers? I think that event is on the Thursday.
Yeah, so I think last year was maybe like 600. We're expecting it to exceed 800 this year. We're really pushing New Dimensions Ministries.
Yes, that's true.
Right.
New Dimensions.
Yeah. So we're really pushing to get as many schools to come out. And the class 3s and 4s are the ones invited. Those are the ones who are right about to transition into secondary school. By the time of the event, they would have done the exam, and they're now thinking about what happens next and stuff like that. And it's a critical time for them to start thinking about the gospel and about. So you go into a new school, you go from being the oldest person in your school, the leader in your school, and that kind of thing, to being the little small boy and a small girl in the school who is searching for their identity and searching for significance, and knowing that you have true meaning and true worth, true value, being able to find those things in Christ, I think is perhaps the greatest help you could have when you go into a situation like that.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that we want to offer to students as they transition. Yeah.
I think it's an amazing partnership, but I'm sure that's your favorite event, but is there another one that you say, man, Gospel Fest?
So One Awesome Day last year was really exciting for us.
I was out of the island, I didn't get to.
No, so I mean,
I heard about it.
No, up on the hill with the big concert, everything like that is great, but down in the park with the children, we had a blast.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about
No, I'm serious. Down in the park with the children, we had a blast. Yeah, man. We had scavenger hunts. We played games. We did a lot of activities.
Then helps to produce.
Yeah. So
there's a full-fledged. So hold a minute. So you're telling me that families can come.
Bring your whole family for sure.
And they could leave the children there.
Yeah, because I mean, some of the children. So they came down and we played some games. We played some boys against girls things that you don't see anymore. But the boys and the girls were really competitive, and it was a lot of fun. We did some activities, and we were able to share a really important message in terms of the mercy of God. Understanding how God forgives. Oh yeah, and
it's like a Sunday school, but with a lot more
a lot more fun. And then of course, Chefette, who's the name sponsor, Chefette and Frosties, they had a ton of giveaways. And gifts for the children who were there, and everybody had a grant. And then they got ice cream. I forgot that part. The ice cream truck pulled up, and they got a whole set of Frosties ice cream as well. So yeah, it was a really good time. Yeah, really good time.
Wow. Well, I'm looking forward to One Awesome Day. I wasn't there last year because I was doing something overseas.
Right.
But
make sure you pass through the park. Don't just stay up by the concert. Make sure you come down and pass through the park.
On my show, we're bringing in a whole busload of people.
Nice.
In fact, I'm hoping 2 busloads.
Nice.
And so what is important is that people need to know that their children will be in good hands.
Definitely. The whole team, not just me, the whole team. Yeah.
All right, so this is wonderful. Mario, keep up the good work. And
Thank you.
What's your role at the ICF?
So I serve as the national director,
the national
in
director.
ICF.
I thought it was director, but I didn't want to say the wrong thing.
Yes.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
It's been good. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right.
Well, there you have it again. Another testimony of Gospel Fest. And, you know, I have been a part of Gospel Fest in the past. Most of the time I've been out of the country, especially over the last 20 years, spending a lot of time in the Cayman Islands as a result of Hurricane Ivan's impact on that island. but Gospel Fest is doing a great job. And let me just say this, one thing I've really appreciated about the body of Christ is the variety of the different abilities, talents, and giftings. If you look at your body, your whole body is not a nose. Your whole body are not eyes. Your whole body is not ears. Your whole body is not a mouth. Your body is comprised of a myriad of different things working together in order to keep you alive and to help you enjoy the life that God has put you on the earth to enjoy. So I think we need to grow a greater respect for the different giftings that God has placed in the body and the different efforts that people are making. Everybody is not going to be called to be a preacher in a pulpit and, to be in a building. There are those who are out on the street, on the side of the street. I remember in Grand Cayman, we had some dancers come down for one of the events that we held there, and they danced on the street, and everybody stopped. And the message of the gospel went out. You know what's the important thing? Not so much the event that we hold or what we do, but that word that we release, whether it be through preaching, through hymn speak, through dance, or however it's done, that word is planted in the hearts of people. And I learned this from the scripture: one plants, another waters, but God is the one that gives the increase. And so we're grateful for every effort that everyone is making to make our country a better nation by bringing people from all walks of life and in every strata of society, every community, into the experience and knowledge of God. And that's where we need to get back to God. If the Lord has been the people's guide for past 300 years, we need to still keep him on the people's side. All right? So great. Thank you so very much, Dave, for that great mic on the move. And we're looking forward to a great time with Gospel Fest. I'm going to be involved in it this year. And however Adrian needs my assistance, I'm more than happy to be a part of what he's doing. And we're looking forward to a great, great time. Now, I want to welcome a very special lady that has been joining me from time to time on these shows. And as you might have noticed, you might have realized it, I've shifted from the Mondays to the Fridays, because of all that is happening, where our situation is concerned. And as a result of that, I have the distinct privilege of having this lady on the show with me more often than I've ever expected. So I want to welcome you, Caroline, to the Marcia Weeks show. Now, I want to make sure I have the pronunciation of your name correct, because last night we were told, one of the presenters last night, her name I thought was Cecily, and she said no, it's Cicely. Cicely. And she said, if you want to correctly pronounce my name, remember the word precisely. And so I want to make sure I have Caroline correct. All right. Welcome.
Good night, Reverend Ferdy.
Caroline
Caroline is correct.
Caroline is correct.
Yes,
well,
but so
Caroline,
many people say Caroline, that's okay as well.
Well, I must tell you that I have been called Ferdy, Freddie, Ferdinand. I know what they mean, so it's okay. As I said to somebody, my mother didn't christen me with all the titles I carry. She christened me Ferdinand. And so it's okay to call me Ferdinand. I know protocol has its place, but I am who I am.
Yes.
And I thank God for that. But listen, it's great to have you on tonight. I understand that you're going to be looking at some very interesting aspects. Of course, as you would have heard, Marcia had I would say, lobbied the Prime Minister in terms of the event that was going to be hosted by the Barbados Labour Party on the 28th of April. And thank God she has consented to canceling the event. And it's not a win for anybody other than Barbados. Because at this particular point in time, Caroline, we need to pause and reflect. And you, I understand, you're going to be looking at some of the reasons as to why we must pause and reflect and remember. So again, welcome to the show.
Thank you. And again, good night, loyal opposition as well. And again, I am glad and grateful to be on this show. And Pastor Ferdinand, I am glad that the Prime Minister would have canceled the event. And in her own words, she will normally say, "We hear you, we see you, we feel you." And I will add this, Madam Prime Minister, we thank you.
Yes,
I will say
absolutely. We
that.
thank
We
you.
thank you. We thank you. We thank you for hearing, seeing, and feeling us. So we go to why nation must pause. That's what we are looking at tonight. Why the nation must pause. And I know you will agree with me. This nation is in pain. Barbados is hurting. Crime is rising. The fear is real. And we cannot continue as normal. And when things, even in our own personal lives, are out of order, are not normal, we ourselves have to pause and reset. And as it is written, there's a time for everything. And I think that the time has come that Barbados must pause and reflect. And on April 28th, Heroes Day, and if Dave could probably put up the flyer, he thought it would have been a great time for pausing and reflecting. It is about reflection, it's about remembrance, and as I said, it is a time to reset. And it is on Heroes Day. That's the day that we celebrate our national heroes. And that's the time that we pause and we reflect at what they would have done to ensure that we benefit what we are benefiting today. And that was usually the day we set aside for that, for all national heroes, looking at each individual one and what they have done. But this time we are including in this, we are pausing and reflecting, not in protest, not in politics, but in remembrance of our heroes and for the lives we have lost. We are reflecting on that as well. That is, more present, the lives that we have lost. We are reflecting on we are supporting the families that have lost. The reflection is on the reality that many are facing, on grieving families, young men at risk, and the lives we have lost. So on April 28th, we will go live. The Marcy Week Show will go live from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I believe probably 7 p.m. because we will have sessions of prayer. We'll have a prayer segment. We'll have a reflection on what is happening. We will offer a message of compassion and healing and hope. for the nation. This is not political. We are not protesting anything. We're just remembering, and we are reflecting on what is going on in our country. We will begin the day 6 a.m. We'll begin with prayer. We'll have times of silence, and we will have some messages of encouragement. So throughout the entire day, we are on pause and reflection, and we are inviting persons to join us. Inviting persons to join us. And even tonight, I would want to ask some questions for reflections, Pastor Ferdy. And I go back to our national anthem. And I pull certain parts from the national anthem and I ask the question. It says, part of our national anthem says, we loyal sons and daughters all do hereby make it known. These fields and hills
The
beyond,
hills beyond recall and now
are our very own.
own.
So I have a question there. Are the fields and hills still our very own? We pause and we ask that question. Our fields and hills still our very own? That's an area for reflection. Where are we? This is who we say we are. This is our national anthem. And then we go down further in our national anthem, and we say we are strict guardians of our heritage. Are we strict guardians? Are we still strict guardians of our heritage? These are just questions for reflection. That's who we say we are. That this is our national anthem. And we also said we are firm craftsmen of our faith. Are we still firm craftsmen of our faith? These are some questions here. Or is someone else crafting our faith for
us?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have to reflect. We have to pause. We have to reflect. And you pause and you reflect at times to honor sacrifice and to mourn our collective loss. We want to let those who are mourning know we are with them, we are supporting them, and we're not mourning, we're not mentioning just those people who have lost loved ones. When I say lost, I mean persons who have died. We are still in support of those people who have lost loved one because they may have been the perpetrators and they're either gone off to jail. You know, they too have been taken away. And
Yes.
those families, yes, and very often we leave that segment out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that is a very wide segment as well. So if we think we're mourning, say it is at 24 for this year, we may have to, we probably have to multiply that by 4, because you have the families, you have the other person, and multiply it by 2, the perpetrator. Families are mourning these people as well. So we are in support of these people, and we're taking some time to be in solidarity with these people. That's why we are pausing and we are inviting persons to come online. As I said, We're going to be here from 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening. It is very important that a nation, in fact, any person, pause and reflect their lives, what is happening. There are times you have to reevaluate the path that you're taking. Barbados needs to do that. Are we where we want to be? Are we on the path that we want to be on? Or do we have to pause and reset? Those are questions. As a government, is it time for us to pause, have a look at what is happening around us? Are we happy with what is happening? Is this where we want to be? Level of fear and crime in our country, is this what we want? So it is time, to pause and reflect. There was a time in Barbados when the persons who we considered as the bad boys were dying. And therefore, persons might have taken the stance, okay, the bad boys are killing up the bad boys. So, it is bad, but that's their own thing. But no innocent civilians are being
caught in the crossfire.
Yes, in the crossfire.
Collateral damage is what it would often be referred to.
And the question is, how much are we going to take? Are we going to sit and wait? God forbid that it is someone in our family. So we really have to say, look, let us take some time out as a nation to see where we are at, where we come from. And again, I said National Heroes Day is a good day. These people fought for all of this. Errol Barros, Grantley Adams, Clement Payne, all of these. But so all these people fought. Are we where we want to be? Are we better off? Have we taken a roundabout turn? These are questions, for reflecting. How do we go to the next step? Which is the next step for Barbados?
Well, if I can ask you something here or make a comment, Carolyn, because a few moments ago you talked about the agony we feel for the persons who have died, who have been killed,
Yes.
but you also added to that those who have been incarcerated
Yes.
as a result. But if I can take it a step further, because I learned in marketing that every singular individual actually has a direct impact upon 7 persons.
Okay. Then.
Direct impact.
Yes.
And when I think of the persons who have died, the perpetrators and the families, then I also think of the neighborhoods and then by extension, the communities. So you could be dealing, with families in the neighborhood to whom that individual may have been related to, not as a family person, but as a member of the neighborhood, which could be 10 houses, which could amount to some 40 people. Nothing to do with the community, where they would go, let's say, to the shop to buy things or to the gas station or something of that nature, where they might hang around while we may not like it on the block, chatting with friends and so on. And you could now expand that out to maybe 50, 60 people. So in truth and in fact, if you were to take that 24 and multiply it by 60, you could be dealing with as much as 1,500 or more people who have been directly impacted, directly. And then you have the psychological trauma of persons who have children who realize the reality that could have been my child.
Yes.
And when you begin to extrapolate the entire thing out, Carolyn, it really comes down to virtually the entire 280 something thousand people in this country.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why we
You-
said Barbados is hurting. Barbados is
yes,
hurting.
yes,
The
yes.
country is hurting.
And then the last thing quickly before you go on, you know, I've always been intrigued with flying. I wanted actually to be a pilot, but it didn't work out. So it is what it is. But you know, I remember as we were flying, I had friends in Caribbean Airlines at one time, and as we were traveling from Barbados to UK, I had the opportunity of going into the cockpit with the pilots and the co-pilots and so on. And I was just amazed at the tickings I heard. And the pilot explained to me how the automatic pilot was performing what he told me were course corrections because of all the wind that was blowing and the resistance and so on flying at those heights. You know, the aircraft would gently sometimes and unknown to us sometimes veer off course. And I really believe that this is an opportunity that we have to course correct
Yes.
as a country, as a government, as a prime minister, as
Yeah.
members of cabinet. I believe this Heroes Day, National Heroes Day on the 28th, gives us an opportunity to course correct so
Yes.
that we can get back on track as to where the history, the legacy of our country was preparing us to go toward. I just wanted to
Exactly.
add that to you.
Yes, you are correct. And the reason, the need for the pause is to, as I said, to support the grieving,
Yes.
to unite around our shared values. What are our shared values? So
Yes.
there was a
Yes.
time when we, our neighborhood watch or looking out for each other. Where has that gone? We were a country that looked out for each other. We shared with each other.
Yes. Yes.
If
Yes.
I had extra breadfruit, I gave to my neighbor, and my neighbor gave me an extra,
But
pumpkin or something. We
you
shared.
you remember the visits into the country years ago, where if you drove into the country, you come up with a trunk
Yes,
full of bananas, breadfruit, edibles, potatoes.
yes,
You'd be lucky if you could get the car up over horse hill.
yes. You visited the country and you left with loads of food.
Yes. Yes.
And
Wow.
you didn't have to buy it. It was just
No,
given.
just
It was
given.
it was a natural thing. If
Yes.
anyone is
Yes.
visiting us in the country, we will gather all of the ground provisions and make sure you leave with these. So that's the Barbados that we know, and that is something that can be brought back. Can
Yes.
be brought
Yes.
back.
Absolutely.
The sharing and the caring, and being, your neighbor's keeper, neighborhood
Yes.
watch. So, we have to go back at where we were, look at where we are today, and go forward from here. Go forward from here. We will
But
also
is
take the time to honor our national heroes as well.
but isn't that technically what reset means? To
Yes,
go back, like a phone or computer or whatever.
yes,
After a while they start to give problems. They start to
mhm,
slow down. They start to act funny and so on. And sometimes you have to reset. You have to
yes,
get rid of all the things you've added. They always talk to us
mhm.
about backup, backup. I've always been preached that back up your computer, back up your phone,
So you
because
don't lose it.
sometimes yeah, and sometimes because of all the apps that may be on or pictures or whatever, it slows down, and you have to go back to what it was when you first got it or reset it. And I believe in agreement with you that maybe we need during this time of pause and reflection to go back
Mhm.
to those shared values that we had as a
Yes.
country and as a community.
And who we said we are, our pledge,
Yes.
you know, we pledge allegiance to our country, Barbados, and to our flag,
Yes.
you know, is that still so? So it's really reflecting, looking at where we are and resetting to where we want to be, where we say we want to be.
Just let me make a comment, if I can, about with regards to this comment that M. Gardner has asked. Persons who have prophesied disaster to the country and so on. If I could say to you that, just because prophecy is given doesn't mean it's going to happen. There are preconditions all the time to prophecies.
Yes.
If you go through the scripture, you'll find it from Genesis all the way through to Malachi. You'll find that the Lord says, if you don't do so and so and so and so, so and so and so and so is going to happen.
Yes.
And the prophets would come and tell you, so that in a real sense, if you complied with the conditions, in reality, you could avoid the judgment, so to speak, that God
Yes.
would have spoken. And, just this morning, Caroline, I was sharing with a group that we have on every morning, Monday through Friday, that the Lord had said, I looked in the country for a man. I was talking about the power of one. And he said, I looked in the country for a man to make up the hedge or to stand in the gap so that his judgment wouldn't fall.
Yes.
And he couldn't find one.
He couldn't.
And so it's so imperative for us when we hear these things, and even as we enter into the hurricane season, if we fear the impact of a hurricane that we believe is going to be something to do with God's judgment on the country, if we stand in the gap,
Yes.
and we and he can see that we're serious about resetting, reflecting, and pausing,
Yes.
then he would hold back. That's what he said he would do. He would hold back from it.
Yes, that is very important. So it is good when the prophets prophesy. They warn us. They are like, watchmen. They alert us as to what is coming. And we are supposed to listen and do the right stuff. And the examples are there in the Bible consistently.
There's one for you.
It is
Go
there.
to the ant, thou sluggard, and consider his ways and be wise.
So it is not to be fearful about it. Then there's nothing wrong with being fearful, because if you're fearful, you'll do something about it.
But they say that courage is found in the face of fear.
Fear, yes, yeah.
That's where courage is found.
So you do something, but so that's why you're inviting us. Because people, you can sense, that something is wrong. We're not where we want to be. No, you can see it, you can sense it. Everything says, listen, we are going down the wrong road, and we need to haul up and pull back. As the old persons will say, we need to take stock. We need to take stock of where we are going.
Yes.
And on the 28th is the ideal time to do it. It's the ideal time that we will do it, when we are reflecting on our national heroes, when we're looking back, and we will also look back at all of our young men that have died, and we are also looking at the grieving families, and then we are going. We are looking at where we need to go.
Caroline, during his presentation for the launch of Gospel Fest, Adrian Agard made mention of an event, I think, on Whit Sunday, which I think is coming up at the Kensington Oval, and it's hosted by, the national church, let me put it that way, in Barbados. And I think it would be an ideal time for all of the politicians, all of them, to turn up and show their, not support for the event, but to support what it is intended to convey. as we're talking about the return to God, the reflection on what is happening in our country, the declarations that can change the atmosphere over our nation and remove from off of our country the cesspool of crime and violence that we are experiencing. And I would challenge them now, publicly, on this show, for all of them. And I'm speaking in terms of all, because we're not talking politics here. We're not talking political parties here. We're talking people who are leaders of the country and who are potential leaders of the country, who are vying for those positions, to understand the necessity to reset our country and join us as the church, which we know is the most singular, powerful entity in this country, whether we like to admit it or not. And join us on that day where we go before the Lord and ask him to help us to restore the values in our nation.
Yes.
I want to throw that challenge out there right now. If you know any of your parliamentary representatives, people in the Democratic Labour Party, the Barbados Labour Party, tell them that Reverend Nichols has thrown out the challenge for them to turn up at Kensington Oval. I will get the date and I will see if I can get the date, Carolyn, before the show is over. And I will let them know the date that I believe it's going to be Whit Sunday. I would have to look on my calendar. It's going to be Whit Sunday. And challenge them to turn up and show them themselves to be a part of the community of people in this country who are concerned about what is happening in the nation.
Or we can ask them even to go with, as they do that, they can go a step further. Send us or join us. They might not want to come on live here, but join us or send a written message that can be read.
Yes.
It would be good. It would be good that we can have some messages, and I can have one from my MP from St. Lucie to the people, and read it, to show that we are all a part of it.
We're all in this together.
Yes, we're all in this together. You may not want to come live on this platform, but send a message. You know how you have the independence message and the Christmas message and all these messages. Send a message.
But Carolyn,
that we are all in this.
I'm going to push Carolyn.
Yes.
And again, I'm going to challenge the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the leader of our country.
Yes.
She has expressed that she cares about our nation. We have heard her speak with passion and heart, and I'm not going to be critical of that. I have heard her speak with passion and heart about being concerned about the people. Whether we acknowledge it or accept it or believe it or not, that is not my point. But ma'am, I would ask you, if you are really serious about this, join us. Don't even send a message. Join us on April the 28th at a time convenient to you, between 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening. And knowing the impact of this show, knowing the people that view this show, I know their operatives are watching this show tonight, Carolyn. I know this. But this is not about politics. This is about our country. This is about our nation. And ma'am, I challenge you to show your face, turn up. This is not even about the Marcia Week show. That is irrelevant. What this is about is showing a deep heart, care, and concern for the well-being of the people of our nation, which, ma'am, is your primary responsibility, more than obtaining a loan from the IMF or the World Bank or from the IADB or anything of the sort. More than that is to convince us as a people that we can trust you and believe you when you say you care. I challenge you to do it. What have you got to lose? Nothing. Nothing.
Yes, we need to hear their voices.
If she is traveling, Zoom is there. Come on, there's no excuse. If you're traveling, ma'am, you can come on. I'm sure that we'll provide you with a link. All you would need to do, 236-7000 is Marcia's number, And those of you that are listening who are going to be reporting back to her, please take that number down, 2367000, and let her know. We'll be more than happy
That would be
to have
great.
her, more than happy to have her at any point of time in the day, at her convenience, that she can speak to the country and we can pray with and for her, which is our responsibility. I want to discard the idea, Caroline, that we don't like the Prime Minister. I want to discard that.
That's not.
That is a blatant lie. Anybody who says that is a liar and is not looking at the interests of this country. We may not agree with her policies and proposals and so on, but there's no hatred in my heart or Marcia's heart or Dave's heart or any of our hearts toward the Prime Minister.
And when she does something that is right or good, like,
we will commend her.
Of course.
Like what she has done right now. We commend her.
Yes,
we commend her.
We believe her when she said, we see you, we hear you,
yes,
we feel
believe you. We believe you.
Yeah, it makes that statement true.
Yes,
when we see that.
And we couldn't be true Christians if we hated her, because God is love. And if he says, if you hate, you are heading a direction that you're not going to enjoy. You're not going to enjoy that direction. So it is a blatant lie and misconception for anyone to think that we hate the Prime Minister. We don't. We love her, and I can tell you, up to last night, Carolyn, we prayed for her cabinet and the entire parliamentary group, president included.
And I mean, we should pray daily so that we will live peaceable lives.
Peaceful, and
we want to live peaceful.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
we do.
Wisdom, and we are commanded to pray for our leaders.
That's right.
So we have to pray. We have to pray for our leaders. We have to pray for them.
Now, one of the things, I don't know if you're finished with the aspect of the purpose, because we have a few more minutes, Caroline, because unfortunately, Apostle Scantlebury was supposed to join us, but he's had an emergency come up, and unfortunately, he's not going to be able to come on the show tonight because of an urgent matter that he's had arise. So we have a few extra minutes. But in terms of the purpose, we were looking at that purpose, but I also saw something that I found very interesting: the emotional and psychological state of Barbados. What do you mean when we talk? Because we're talking about the country. How does the country demonstrate emotional and psychological conditions?
Okay. Offhand, I would say there's much fear. There's much anxiety. Fear is the biggest factor that is seen in Barbados today. And you see it in the way people move, their actions, where you are free to go certain places. It is like you have to think twice. Persons that are used to going out, I would say fetting or going out karaoke, just going out, family go to dinner on a birthday to celebrate. They're thinking twice now. You're thinking twice.
Yes.
Because if you look at it, nowhere, no gathering seemed to be, no kind of gathering at all seemed to be safe. None. So there is a fear. There is a fear. You're driving on the road as a young woman or a woman on the whole, and there is fear. There is fear. You have everything locked down. You're just praying that you get home safe. The level of fear has changed the lives of persons and have caused persons to do things in a different way. You're in a location, you see someone approaching you, that anxiety, you wonder what is happening, what will they do? Is this someone coming to rob me? So all of these things, and it affects you, it's affecting or affecting us mentally. Someone simply walking, you and just one person, someone coming to you, and suddenly you think about, what, let me shift on the other side because I don't know the intent of this person. Before you would just continue walking and pass the person on the same side, but now it is like, maybe I should shift on the other side to see if this person has some form of intent. So even your actions, you're doing things that you wouldn't normally do because of the fear and the culture that we are in. You don't trust persons that you would have trusted before. And you don't want to be in the company of certain people because you never know what they're up to. So it is like everyone is like eyeing each person, and you're becoming more of a closed community.
Well, I even think, Caroline, like when your children go out, our children go out at night, our grandchildren go out at night, family members go out at night. And there are times when you almost can't rest until you see them back in the house, okay, and I think, when you are living in an environment where you cannot comfortably relax, when your family members are out on the street, you hear something happen in Oistins and, oh shoot, I know my grandson went to get some fish or something there, and oh God, I hope he's not involved in that or nothing happened to him. And these I believe may be treating to some of the psychological, emotional conditions that we are facing as a country.
And as persons, the amount of persons that are grieving,
yes,
going through the process of losing a loved one, they go from so many stages. They can even go into depression. And we see the anger for sure. That's one of the stages. We see the anger coming out, the revenge and everything else. But we hardly see the persons who go into depression to get to the depressed stage.
Yes.
So you have that fear is there, the anxiety is there, anger is there, depression is there. All of these things are there.
But it seems to
persons.
It seems to be I don't know if the correct word is targeting, Caroline. Maybe you can guide me with that. But it seems to be highlighting a deficit where family is concerned. Because family is the foundational link, or in the chain of life. Family is what if a nation's families are disrupted, then the nation itself is disrupted. And it makes me wonder sometimes, what's happening. And again, this is something we prayed about last night in that meeting, is the family unit, the family structure, returning to the value of family and what family is. And without any apology, male, one man, one woman, children. This is what family is. This is how it was designed, and there was a reason it was designed that way, so that you can come up in an environment, suitable. And you would remember what we would call the extended family.
Extended family, yes.
In a village, you think I could walk through my district and disrespect one of the adults in my district for my mother to know? Are you kidding?
Yes.
Boy, if those people called my mother as I stepped through the door, what your folk used to say is they're going to apply some education to the seat of knowledge, where the sun never rises or sets. I tell you, man, it would be, and I can tell you, I got a lot, Carolyn. I got a lot, but you know what? It helped me to become the person I am today, to respect the values and to have a proper level of morals, to understand a striving toward excellence, not to be satisfied with mediocrity.
Yes.
All of these are the things that we are talking about, folk, when we talk about, restoring the value systems and so on. These are the things we talk about. Good morning, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Opening the door for the lady as she comes to the door. These are all the things we grew up
That's for reflecting. When we are
Yes.
reflecting.
Yes. And
When we are reflecting as what Barbados used to be.
we used to be.
And how did we get where we are? What has changed? I know the times has changed. You have the social media and everything else, but where did we throw our core values? Where are they? How did we lose them? And how can we regain them?
Again, there's a biblical statement. You would expect me to quote from the Bible. I mean, I'm a preacher.
Of course.
There's a biblical statement that says, if the foundations be destroyed, because some people may think about, and I saw a comment about it, which brought the thought to my mind about the good old days. If the foundations be destroyed, what will the righteous do?
And we must be honest in our reflection. We must be honest in our reflection. And maybe some of the things that we thought were not so important and we discarded. Now we are realizing that they were really important.
They
They were really important. And they were the backbone of society.
So as you mentioned in your presentation intent tonight, so we can't continue with business as usual.
No.
There's that saying, a madman is the person who does the same thing the same and expects different results. And if that's the case, I want to put it to the loyal opposition that quite a few of us are insane. As you're talking
the same thing,
the same way and expect different results. There is need for change. Yeah, we get it, but we have to look at the type of change. And as I read tonight, timing is everything. This is one of the things. And what went through my mind as you were speaking too was the need. I think this morning it was either Denmark or Finland that have removed technology from their classrooms.
Wow.
And I saw somebody in the United States in a committee meeting with the Congress reflect on the fact that many of the children coming up now don't have, I think it's called cognitive capability.
Okay.
They're not able to on their own rationalize, think, process, because they are on technology, social media and all this so much that if you take it away from them and ask them to engage a problem, they can't get it done without ChatGPT or AI.
And you are so correct. They're not encouraged to think for themselves or to even reason.
And they're returning.
It is amazing when you reason with children. When you reason with children, that they are quickly able, they can understand very quick.
Yes.
But they have not been taught to reason.
Correct.
And should you sit them down and get them to listen to you, listen to reason, they can reason it out very, very, very quickly, quicker than we could have at that age. but they don't get the opportunity. They're not trained to reason. And sometimes I believe, as you know, and it's Andrea Critchlow here saying, and that was design. I tend to agree with you. It was purely by design. The voices think for them, and they are like robots. They do what they see. You see kids, you see little children sit before a television set, and they begin to mimic. They begin to mimic their favorite cartoon character. So they are being indoctrinated and trained in a particular way. Everything is at hand for you. Even Pastor Ferdy, when you begin to type, from the time you begin to type a word, it comes up. So you know what? You don't have to learn to spell it so much.
But you talking about type. But I only had to fly my hand around the screen like that. Any word comes up.
Or sometimes you are speaking and things come up on the phone. So everything is there programmed for us. So that's where we are at.
I saw something. I saw a question there to put to you. I think it's a question. The person said they're Petra Jemmott. Everyone is bipolar. and they say to ask you.
Okay. To ask me, it's a statement or is it a question?
I am not sure. I'm assuming they mean a question. Everyone is bipolar. Ask Caroline. I'm not going to read the rest. If someone wants, she doesn't play with words, because I don't know that you ever play with words. I have not been at any sessions that you play with words at all. I never heard you.
You hear persons confessing. It's amazing during this time that so many people confess to so many things. You hear people say, "I'm depressed," you know, and you have to get them out of that. But that's another
subject and another area.
So,
yes.
And you tend to be what you confess. You're confessing, and by what I believe this person is referring to, you know what? We have certain, what should I say, different parts of us. The same me that appears on this show is not the same me that probably would be, what should I say, at home. It is almost the same, but there will be a slight difference. We should be the same, but you present a certain you in public, then you have a certain you, I believe, at home. And then there's maybe another you that you probably will keep hidden. So that's why
you begin to song like these people suffering from split personalities.
But she says bipolar. I really truly the different personalities come into the fore. Yes.
No, but you're so right. You know,
yes.
We always put on. And I remember in several of the sessions that I've shared and messages I've shared, I've got people to do this, to take this action, take their hand like this, right? And I want all of you, all 547 of you all on the loyal opposition to do this. Take your hand and cup it upward like this, all right? Turn it around and put it underneath your chin right here, okay? And then pull up like this. We used to say, take off the mask. Because so many of us put on a face when we leave home, but we're not really who we are. If you want to find out who we are, ask our family, ask our children, ask our grandchildren, ask our husband, ask our wife. Hopefully they will tell you the truth.
Pastor Ferdy, we don't want to get too far from. We don't want to get
No,
too
my
far
dear.
from
No,
our
no, no,
pause
no.
and reflecting.
Not at all. But this is a part of the pausing and reflecting
Yes,
because we are always putting on a
yes,
mask.
yes,
And a
yes,
part
yes.
of the pause and
Mhm.
reflecting is to
It's
get
getting
back to
real.
who we
Yes,
really
who we
are.
really are. Who we
We
really
are not the Mercedes Benz that you are seeing.
who
We are
we
not the big
really, who we
house living
really
in the
are.
heights. That's not who I am. That's not who we
Yes,
are.
yes,
And that's a
yes,
part of the
yes,
process.
yes. Sometimes, yes. Very often we put a mask on, and but you wear as there's someone saying we wear different hats always. Yes,
Yeah.
because I'm not going to be. I'm one person here on the show, and I have to be very careful of what I say because in Barbados now everybody is listening to hear if you offend them in a way so they can sue. And of
Oh
course
dear me.
I wouldn't want to bring Marcia in trouble. But so I have to be very careful what I say on the show. So you're not gonna get the real full me. You're not. So that is how it is. When I am a mother, when I was a mother, there was one me. Now I'm a grandmother. Well, I said I wouldn't do the things that all the other grandmothers do. But here am I. I'm a grandmother, and I realize now I
Absolutely.
don't understand why grandmothers were like that. you know,
Absolutely. But, Caroline, we are going to come back. We're going to come back after this next segment at
yes,
9:30. So I want you to hang around. I'm going to just rest you for a moment
sure.
in the what back office. I can't remember
Yes,
what thing
yes,
calls it, because our next segment we want to take a look at what's happening in Kenya with the Muturu Primary School project that Marcy's been speaking so much about. So, as a matter of fact, I am going to leave you there if it's okay. I'm just going to leave you there and
you
and
put
bring
me
the
in the back,
others
put me in the
in.
background, put me in the
Put
background.
you in the back room. Okay,
Yes,
I'll do
yes,
that at your consent. Okay,
yes,
but
yes.
don't go anywhere because we want to come
Okay.
back after this segment and we want to close off the night looking at some of the solution aspects that
Yes.
we can engage in terms of what we can do
What we're
with
gonna do.
regards to what's happening in our country.
Yes,
So
yes.
please stay with us
How are
and
we gonna
we'll be
do it?
right back with you in just a
Sure.
few moments.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what a tremendous segment we've been having there with Carolyn. But we have joining us tonight a team from and I want to make sure I get this right, the Muturu Primary School project in Kenya, and they're going to be sharing with us some updates on the feeding program. You would have heard Marcia speaking about this. They'll be sharing concerning the impact that the program is having, children receiving their breakfasts and so on, and they'll be extending their gratitude for whatever has been contributed. And so, permit me to welcome. I think this would be for the first time the team out of Kenya. This would be Sam Juba. I hope I have your name correctly, sir. Good evening and welcome to the Marcia Week Show. It's a joy and a pleasure to welcome you not only to the Marcia Week Show, but to Barbados technologically. And Kennedy, if I can just refer to you as Kennedy, to welcome you as well. Just want to make sure that we have. Do I have Kennedy in? Yes, I think I do. I think there you are. Great to have you all with us tonight, and welcome to the Marcia Week Show. We are happy to have you and to hear what is happening with the Muturu project in Kenya. Good evening and welcome, Sam Juba and Kennedy. You'll have to unmute. You have to unmute your mics. Okay, there. One more time there, Sam Juba. Yes, you've got it. And Kennedy, you'll need to unmute your mic as well. Just
Thank
waiting
you.
for you, Kennedy, to unmute. But you can go ahead, Samjuba. And oh, good, there you are. Got it, got it. Welcome to both of you. Great to have you with us tonight.
Thank you.
Now, I'm just waiting for Kennedy. They want to make sure that you're hearing us okay, Kennedy?
Yes, I'm hearing you, sir.
Wonderful. Okay, great, great, great to have you with us tonight. We are looking at how things have been going with the project there in Kenya. And maybe you can take us back. I don't know who would want to do this. Maybe you would want to do it, Sam Jumba, to take us back to the beginning as to what was the condition and the situation for the children before the feeding program began, and why was breakfast so important. Maybe you can take us back to that time. Either one of you can go right ahead and do that.
Thank you so much, sir. When we began, I'm Sami Jumba. I'm the chairperson of Muturu Primary School. And I think I want to say that we are so grateful. Before we began the program for feeding the porridge program, we are living in an area where there is poverty. And sometimes to get pupils to come to school, sometimes they're not able to come because they have maybe one meal in a day, or not, where you will have children maybe going to the neighbors at least to have a meal. So we had difficulty, and we have a free primary education policy in the country. But now you find children are not able to come to school because of the hunger and the disconnect in the family. So we had this absenteeism, and we had this low enrollment in school because it was not very able for the children to come to school, especially when they are hungry. So when we began the program, we never expected maybe we are so grateful that tremendously right now the impact is so high that now a lot of children are now coming rushing to school, and just to have that meal, that a cup of hot porridge in the morning. And this one has really increased their concentration in school. So we are looking at a situation where now children now are able to improve in their performance. We are looking at a situation where children, especially those who could not have the concentration is very high in class. So we are looking at a situation where children now even just come to school very early in the morning, rushing, just knowing that at least they are going to have that cup of porridge. So it has had a tremendous impact on the children.
Wonderful. And we're going to run a video. Just before I do that, let me just welcome your other two colleagues. I hope I have the name right, Inviolata. And if I haven't got it right, you're going to correct me, I know. We want to welcome you. And is it Kenny? Would that be Kenny or Kenny? Okay. Kenny, you might have to lower. Kenny, you might have to lower your mic. Yeah, you're going to have to lower your mic, Kenny. It's coming through really, really loud. So I'm going to give you a chance to just fix that aspect. But we want to welcome both of you too as you join your colleagues here. And right after we'll come back to you and to all of you. But we have a video that we want to show the people here. Dave is going to run it for me. We want to show here on the show what has been happening there in this project. All right, Dave, so please go right ahead and run that video for us.
The Muturu Primary School in Western Kenya is home to 700 children ages 3 to 13. These children face an uphill battle, not just with their studies, but with hunger. Join us as we partner with the Muturu Primary School in launching the Muturu Primary School Feeding Program. This initiative is designed to provide every child with a bowl of hot porridge each morning before classes begin for just 25 USD per year. Can help to make a difference. You're providing breakfast to a child, ensuring that they start the day with the energy and focus they need to learn. Together, we can be the change that we want to see, one bowl of porridge at a time.
Well, that's just showing us a little bit. That's just showing us a little bit of what's happening there in the school that you are a part of, the project that you're a part of. And I just want to, I think I've lost a couple of persons. I think I've lost Kennedy, but I'm sure he'll come back in. So maybe Inviolata, have I got that right?
Yeah, you're right, sir.
I have that right. Well, I feel very proud of myself because I really ever get African names correct. I'm always having such a struggle to call them correctly. But we were asking a little earlier, just before you came on, about going back to the beginning and how it impacted you and how you saw it at the beginning when the entire project started.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you so much for this porridge program in Muturu Comprehensive School. We are so much grateful because it has done our children so good. And we are so happy to receive our sincere gratitude from our heart, because this is one of the things that we value and we wish to happen in our school. And indeed, it has come to pass. Wow. The impact of this porridge program is that our kids are very healthy compared to the previous time. Most of our kids were so malnourished. They come to school very weak. They're not energetic because maybe they've not taken anything at home as breakfast. Some of them, maybe they don't have parents, they're total orphans. They live with old age parents, whereby they don't find food at all at home to eat. So the impact is that it has improved the health of our children. And due to that, our children love school. Our children come to school early because they're excited to be in a school environment, because everything is good about school. Wow. Another thing also about the importance of this porridge program is that it makes our kids to improve academically. An empty stomach cannot make you to concentrate anywhere, whether you are a grown-up person or whether you are a child. So this porridge program, anytime we give our children a cup of a porridge, they feel strong, energetic, they feel happy, they feel the school environment to be good and to be conducive for them. And since we began this porridge program, the population has really increased totally. Wow. In fact, if we begin to open this second term, we are wondering what we shall do, because we are receiving more pupils just because of this porridge program. The kids are so happy about the school. The kids are so happy about the porridge program, and their wish is that it continues day by day.
Wow. I mean, we sit on this other side of the world and we don't even realize what the contribution we're making to you there has been, the impact it's been having. And I was actually going to ask all of you with regards to what changes you've seen in the children as it relates to things like their health, their attendance, and their learning, but you've already shared that with us. You know, and it's so good to hear that, you know, they're responding in that manner, because it is so important. You know, that first meal of the day, even for us here in the Caribbean, here in Barbados, is so important. And it's
Yeah.
good to hear that, you know, they're coming, they're getting that meal. And let me ask you this, you know, you've been receiving support from Barbados and from the
Yeah.
Caribbean. And what and I'm throwing this question out to all of you, that all of you can make your contribution, you know, maybe one after the other. But what has it meant to you? And what would you like to say to those who have been helping? What has it meant to you, Sam Jumba, and to you, Kennedy, and to you in Violata? What has it meant to you as an individual, you know, and what would you like to say to the people who have been assisting in the way that they have been?
Okay.
Okay. Uh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Kennedy.
Maybe what I can say to add on what my colleagues have said is that initially, before you started assisting these children, there was a lot of absenteeism in the
Might be having a bit of a connection problem there with Kennedy. Are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Could you repeat what you
So,
said,
so
because we lost you? We lost you for a moment.
yes, I was saying that before you started assisting us, there was a lot of absenteeism in the school,
Mm-hmm.
and there was poor concentration, especially in class, because some of the children come without having taken anything in the morning. And therefore, since you started assisting us, the way the colleagues have said, is that there is a lot of attendance. Children are always in school, they are happy. When it reaches time to take that porridge, if a teacher delays in class, they will say that, please, we want to go and take porridge. So the environment has improved, the children are active, and therefore we are happy with those who are assisting us. They have encouraged, we have more children. Let me tell you, there was a time we had
We've lost him again in terms of his audio. And I'm just muting you to make sure, because we're hearing a bit of an echo. So I just want to make sure that it's not coming through your microphones. Kennedy, are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, well, again, we dropped out hearing you
I,
a moment
I'm,
ago.
I was saying, hello?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Yes, there was a time there was an athletics meet in the school. Other schools had come there, and then when time reached for our children to take porridge, they all ran to the kitchen, and even the other children from other schools were surprised with what was happening in that school, and that one has attracted more children in the school, and the performance has improved because children are always active in class because of that. Yeah. So we are very grateful with those who are assisting us, and even the parents and the community is very happy.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
It's so great to hear this. This is tremendous information and news for us here in Barbados and in the Caribbean. Sam Juba, looking ahead, well, even before I get to that, we understand that you all are also contributing by growing maize and providing labor. Can you explain how the community is helping to sustain the program?
Yeah. I think first of all, I also just want to echo and say that we are so grateful, especially for the people, for those who are contributing and for those who have helped this program to be successful.
Wow.
And I think I must say, just like the principal has said, it has had a very great impact in the community. We are so happy and we really thank God for those who have stood in the gap just to allow these children and to have the school become what it has. You have asked, I think they have made us to be very active. They have made us to come up with a program ourselves. Like you have said, we have started to growing maize just to be able to also contribute towards doing the same, because we have now realized the importance of having that feeding program. And like you said, it is something that we have felt that we really must and we need to have this food because the impact is so immense. And it is something that we would not have looked at it from that perspective if the group had not come. And we are happy because we have worked together with them. And the questions they kept putting to us is, what would be the sustainability? And they have enabled us to look wide, to be able to look into it so that we also come in and, to have maize so that we also contribute. We have the community, like you have asked, they have also given the cook. We have two cooks in the school who have come from the community just also to be able to make that porridge for their children. So it is something that we are interested. It is something that we have made our minds that it must be sustainable. It must be. We need to have continuity so that at the end of the day, we also contribute to make the children happy, to make them be able to concentrate and to come to the school. And we are so grateful for the people of Barbados for what they have been able to initiate and to have us continue doing. And we really ask God to bless them so much.
Well, I tell you, I just saw that field of maize, and you almost had me jealous that we couldn't have a field of maize like that here in Barbados. That is just spreading. I mean, I was trying to see if I could have seen the end of the field in the imagery that Dave had up. But it's such a massive field that we were looking at. But it's great to see you taking on that responsibility, and not just waiting for handouts from others, but putting something in place that you can sustain what you have been receiving and establish something, because sometimes you never know what can happen to the flow of support that you expect to be receiving, and like right now, we have a global environment that's affecting our shipping and all these kind of things, and so it's so important to be able to sustain it. In Violata, I'm going to get this name right before I go off the program. Your thoughts concerning the whole aspect of the sustainability of it, and maybe you can let us know what you are looking at in moving ahead, so that you can continue the process. And how many children are you feeding, and what kind of support is required for the rest of the term?
Okay, thank you, sir. I want to continually thank you for the support, showing us kindness in this forage program. Our community usually contributes firewood, which is used as fuel to cook the porridge.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, just as I had said, our community usually provide firewood, which is used as fuel to prepare the porridge. And also, as we are preparing to open the term, we are hoping for We are hoping for the continually support because we are sure we are going to receive so many pupils compared to the first term because of the good news which is in our school. And the good news is about the porridge. So as we continue, it is our wish that maybe if we can go ahead and maybe increase the amount because of the more population of the pupils that we are tending to receive, maybe we shall be
Well,
comfortable.
judging from listening to what all of you are saying, it looks like you're going to have to get a larger facility, and you're going to have to make some room. And I know Dave has a video that he wants to share with us of the children. And I think it's so important for us to hear it from them as well, because we then realize the value that is occurring in their lives as a result of what we are contributing to your efforts there in Kenya. So Dave, go right ahead and let's hear the kids. Let's hear the children.
As I stand here back on behalf of Muturu Comprehensive School, I want to thank you for supporting us through this porridge program. Through this program, our stomachs are always full and we are able to concentrate in class. Some of us come from poor backgrounds and we don't get enough food at home or even any of the food. When we come here in school, we get this porridge and it helps our stomach. Some of us have some diseases when we are hungry, our stomachs are infected, but you have really supported us through this program. You have helped us. Everyone is always full. The porridge is delicious, and we thank you for that. I would like to urge you to continue supporting us daily because it is really helping us. It is energetic, delicious, and we are strong. We are able to work hard because we are not hungry, like compared to our home. Some of us come from home and they are not able to take any food. But when we come here in school, we get that you have supported us with this porridge and we drink. We really thank you for that on behalf of Muturu. I thank you for that. Continue supporting us day and day, and we will continue appreciating you, and we will work hard because you are helping us from our background. Thank you for listening to me. Bye.
The Muturu Primary School in Western Kenya. The Muturu Primary School in Western Kenya is home to 700 children ages 3 to 13. These children face an uphill battle, not just with their studies, but with hunger. Join us as we partner with the Muturu Primary School in launching the Muturu Primary School Feed-In Program. This initiative is designed to provide every child with a bowl of hot porridge each morning before classes begin for just $25 USD per year. You can help to make a difference by providing breakfast to a child, ensuring that they start the day with the energy and focus they need to learn. Together, we can be the change that we want to see, one bowl of porridge at a time.
Wow, that is such a joy. I mean, listening to that child just now, so confident and speaking. Oh, here we have another.
I learned in Muturu Primary School. I want to thank you for showing us kindness through this porridge program. Thank you.
It's okay, madam. She needs to serve other people.
Yeah.
Now, you mix it until you come properly.
I see, okay.
So, these are modern calabash.
Right, yeah. This is You want more honey? What can be there? Look how long he's mixing it out for. You have to mix it out. So this is porridge, street food, street food. But this is porridge, right? Look. And it's street food, y'all. We're having this.
It's like in the corn pack.
Like,
Unicorn Park in Barbados.
But it's on the street.
I see so many people sitting on the street there. Really. Don't you come here? Nice.
Wow. It's really good.
Yeah, that's in the street. I live at home.
Before you, we are Muturu Comprehensive School. We are here to thank you for showing us kindness through this college program. Thank you and thank you and thank you. Hello, our good people. My name is Michelle Wambulwa. I learn in Muturu Comprehensive School. I'd like to thank you for supporting us through this college program because we have learners which do not have breakfast at home. So when they come to school, they are sure that they will get something to drink. And I kindly request you to support us more and more. And we have some people who live in poor families, and they live with old age people which cannot wake up early in the morning to prepare them breakfast. So when they come to school, they are sure that they will get courage to drink and they concentrate in class. Goodbye.
Wow. I mean, they're just so comfortable and confident standing in front of the camera and just talking so easily and just sharing it. I mean, that is so remarkable. And it's really great to see for ourselves, what has been happening. And I think it's important that when persons make a contribution within the context of these types of efforts, that we see the results, we see what's happening with what is being given. And maybe I can ask you, Kennedy, I understand you're the principal of the school. And, is there, in terms of looking ahead in the upcoming term, because what I'm hearing, and if I'm reading you correctly, in Violata, if I'm reading you correctly, you all are soon going to find yourselves overrun in terms of your space.
True.
Is that something, Kennedy, that you need? You need more space in terms of maybe an additional room, a bigger facility, something of that nature? Are you hearing us? Oh,
I'm hearing you.
yeah.
Hello?
Okay, I just realized that there were two of you. I just realized there were two of you. So, to that question I was asking about in terms of space, would you say you need some more space, and that some of the efforts, there could some of the efforts in terms of our giving could go toward that? Not sure if you're hearing. Are you hearing? Not sure. You're hearing us there, Kennedy?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Wonderful. Go ahead.
Are you hearing? Yes. Okay. Because of hello.
Yes, we're hearing you.
Yes, because of the population, the population that has increased in the school. Classrooms. It has put up some classrooms in the school. We have a story building of about 8 classes that are now being used by these children. So So in terms of space, we have enough. As per now, it's only maybe just to repair the old ones. Yes.
Okay, that's in terms of the facility.
Yes, we have the facilities there. They have put up a new building in the school.
Okay. And so is that contribution, or our contributions from the Caribbean, from Barbados, also goes toward helping with that perspective as well.
Yes.
Okay, that's great to know. And is there anything significant in terms of what you'd like to see relative to the cooperation between Kenya and the Caribbean that you think could be of great value to you there?
Okay, we have only been given provided with the buildings, but the other facilities they given are not there. Like what we are getting from you, the Boris program, that one is not available here in Kenya. And also we have other, like those other old rooms that are being used by children. They also require repair. Like what we want to paint, what we want to paint in the school. There are other facilities that are required, textbooks. There are so many things that are required in the school apart from what the government has provided as schools. So we as Kenyans here, or members of Muturu community, we still feel that we can be supported in other spheres, provision of food, provision of maybe other facilities that are required providing knowledge or teaching to these particular children. So we look forward as you continue supporting us in provision of this forage. We as Muturu community, we shall also take part by what my colleagues have already said, by providing labor, providing corn that is normally mixed with sorghum, and then so that we continue attracting children to this school.
And Sammy, is there anything you'd like to just jump in there and make a comment with regards to how you're going to be moving forward, and what are some of the needs that you have?
Oh yeah, thank you once again. I think one just like the principal has said, there is one thing that has really happened. When the program came, it really attracted so many other people, stakeholders, like say the government, and you will be surprised that when the population started coming in and swelling, it even attracted now the government to put up a story building, like the principal has said, because they were looking. Like one of the reasons that resulted for us to get that building was because of the population that they could see. And we are so grateful because that is one of the spiral effect of the porridge program, what it has done to the school. And you can see it, so that at the end of the day now we have a building which has now so much of the buildings that we were using were condemned. But now to justify why we needed to have some more to increase the space was never there until when the program began. And now we are having a population growing, and you can see what has come in. And like the principal has said, some of the facilities may be like we will be needing, maybe now we need to have a library, at least now, to be able to serve the children that are now in school, the population that is growing, so that we have we have quality education for the children that are coming there, so that we do not only have the numbers, but we also have the facilities that that we are able to give them the education that they need. And like you have asked, okay, going forward, that is one of the things that we are looking at and asking ourselves, Now that we have something that can bring these children to school, something that can make them concentrate, something that can even change their health, what can we now do to be able that they get the quality education that they need, with is now the primary thing that we also need to give to them. So going forward, that is what we are looking at, being able to come up with the now facilities that will be able to have them get the quality education that they need. And we are even grateful for the Caribbean. Like we are speaking now, we have some of the classes that were not painted, some of the classes that were not in a good position. And I am happy to say that we have received a donation, and like from tomorrow we need to be painting those classrooms, so that now we provide that very good conducive environment that is attractive, that would make even the children feel even much better. Like for the picture that you are showing, that like we are looking at the screen right now, those were the condition of the classrooms that were there.
Right.
And I really thank God, because as we are speaking now, this is one of the classrooms that had been condemned. I am sorry to say that on this picture right now, I think we needed also to give some of the pictures. Some of the one of the classroom that is so dirty. It looks like this one that we need to paint, so that we provide that very good, conducive and attractive environment for learning. So we are so grateful, and going forward, I think we have now committed ourselves to not only now having the school appear, but also to contribute and to make it a better place. And one thing that I can say is that the Caribbean have opened our mind to be able to look even wider, so that we give the very best that we must, and make this school a center of excellence.
Well, I tell you, it's really great for us to see. Certainly for me, I haven't been to Kenya, to be honest with you. I haven't been to Africa yet. I hope one day before I go to heaven that I'll get a chance to get to Africa, because I've always loved. I've watched so many videos. I see a gentleman on the screen there in the left corner who I listen to very often on on videos and so on. And several others. I've been involved with some online training of persons in Africa, but I've actually never put my feet on the ground there. And I'm looking forward to one day being able to do that. And I dare say that it might be possible for some of our people here in the Caribbean, some maybe our teachers and other persons who may have a couple of weeks in their vacation or so, to come over and assist in some areas. We do that from church ministry aspects, and we'll just have to wait to see how things progress as we go forward. Is there anything that each one of you would just like to share with us before we release you? Because I just, while you were speaking, I took up my phone to look and see what the time is there where you are. And I don't know what part of Kenya you are, but I'm seeing two different times. I'm seeing a time of 7:08 in the morning, and I'm seeing a time of 4:39 in the morning. So I don't know which time zone are you in.
Thank you so much. I think let me be the first one to begin. Actually, it is 4:39 in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
I think we are about 7 hours ahead of you.
Yes.
And I must say that we are so excited to be up right now, just to be able to share on this platform. And I think I just want to say that we are so grateful. We really thank you for you to give us this platform, just to be able to share with you, to share with the world what you've been able to do for our children, just to be able to share where we are coming from and where we are going, and just to share a success story. And one thing that I must say to you is that we really don't take this one for granted, that you can give us an international platform just to be able to share with the world. And even besides the children, it has also opened our eyes, it has opened our minds, just to be able to give the best that we can, to look into tap into our potential, so that we we give these children the very best that we can. And we are so grateful. And the least we can do is to thank God and to give a promise that whatever little fund that we can get from you, we will put it to the right use so that we have the greatest impact that we must for the benefit of the children. May God really bless you. And we are happy to be a family with this global world. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you too, Sam Juba, for letting us have the opportunity to partner with you. Thank you so very much. And we want to certainly thank Marcia and Dave for bringing your area into our attention and for coming into your area and working together with you to put this project in place, so to speak, that we can help the children there. In Violata, what about your comments with regards to everything that has been happening there at the school? Just need to unmute. Yes, there you go.
Just as I had begun to say, we are so grateful. We are excited as Muturu Comprehensive School and the community because of this good work. Thank you also for making Muturu to be one of the best schools that can be supported. So as I had said earlier, due to this program, our kids have concentrated in class. They passed the examination. In fact, last year we took around 9 or so to national school. And this is due to they have full stomachs, they have no worry. The school environment is okay. So we are saying thank you for the good work. Thank you so much. And we are hoping for the best.
Okay, now you see that gentleman on the screen, Mr. Lumumba, I think is how you would pronounce that. I have always been absolutely blessed listening to his presentations. I find he's a remarkable gentleman, a tremendous orator, and I really appreciate much of what he shares. And to know that we are part of sharing with the PLO, let me get this, Lumumba, to know that we're sharing with him, that is really an honor and a privilege for us to know that we are in association with him. And it's certainly our pleasure and our joy. And we want to thank you for taking the time so early in the morning, oh my goodness, to join us here in the Caribbean, in Barbados. And I can assure you that the show is currently being viewed by about 446 people, but this will go on to be viewed by, in some instances, as much as 10, 15,000 people. And so, the information will be up there so that persons who would be interested in assisting can reach out to us here in Barbados, and we'll be able to share with them, and also from the information that is on the screen to be able to share with you there in Kenya. So we really want to thank you for taking the time to be with us so early in the morning for you. And we really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. And we want to commend you for the tremendous work that you guys are doing there at the school. And, we appreciate so much seeing the efforts of the work, the results of our efforts and our contributions. We thank you so very, very much for that. So we want to wish you a great remainder of your day. If you have to go and get some rest because you've got to be had to be up to be here with us, we want to really thank you so very, very much for all that you are doing there. And I am really hoping, and I saw some other people saying this, Andrea Critchlow, Andrea, we have to go down. Okay, so we have to start talking with Marcia to see how we can plan, even if it's for a couple of weeks, to just go down and to be able to contribute and see what's happening there on the ground. And we're so happy to be able to, for Dave, to be able to show us the videos and to connect directly with you guys. So thank you so very much, Sam Jumba. I hope I have that name correct. I hope I got the pronunciation correct.
Yes, you have.
And it's been a pleasure having you, and we look forward to you joining us again. Okay, we look forward to you coming again along with Kennedy. And let me bring in Violata as we just close off this segment with you. And I'm not seeing Kennedy's image, not as
Yes,
yet.
yes,
Oh, there you
yes,
are. Yes, we want to
yes.
just thank
So,
all three of you for
I want
coming on the show tonight.
about
Yes,
what? I have something to say.
yes, please go right ahead.
Yes, okay. I have a problem with my phone a little bit, but I wanted to say that we as Muturu community, we are very happy with the support we are getting from the Caribbean community. And it's our wish that they continue assisting us as we also talk to the community to see how it can come in more to support that particular program. This program has assisted us. We as teachers, we are now having easy time because there is no absenteeism.
Yeah, we seem to be having connection problems with him.
And
Okay,
I
Kennedy,
get
just
me.
repeat whatever you just said because you dropped out for a moment. You dropped out again. Are you hearing us? Okay, you dropped out again, so we didn't hear a thing that you said. Seems to be having a problem with his connection to his microphone in terms of being able to speak. But we can always come back to you, Kennedy. Sam Jumba, maybe you can let him know, that once he communicates with Marcia, we will know what is happening in terms of there at the school and with the project. And we will share here on the show. And, in terms of what is needed, what is required, we'll share here with our partners, the loyal opposition here, as well as those persons who will view the show in the days to come. So once again, thank you both. Thank all three of you for being here on the show with us. And we look forward to you joining us again at some point of time in the future. I'm sure Marcy is going to reach out to you as the days go by and we see what more is happening there in Kenya. So thank you again so much, and we wish you all the best and a great, great weekend ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you. God bless.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. It was so nice having you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye too.
Oh wow. I mean, it's so good to see all that is happening, and for you to see, and the persons who are contributing to see what's happening and to hear what's happening and to hear it from the children, not just from the adults and from the principal and the coordinators and so on, but to hear it from the children. And we really want to say thank you for all of you who in any way, shape, or form have supported this effort that Marcia and Dave have initiated there in Kenya. Well, we're running close to the end of the show, so I'm going to bring Carolyn back in for the last few moments. Carolyn, I know that your ears have been there listening to what's happening. And isn't that great to see, even though we are all this way across this side of the world, to see how far we can reach and how great an impact we can have in another country and in what could be described as the motherland. I think is how it would be looked at. So we want to thank all of them for all their contribution and the effort and the work that they're doing. And, as we're heading toward the end of the show, with all this happening in Barbados and what you just heard and saw in Africa, what are your thoughts?
What really struck me, and it's always good when people can return thanks and show gratitude for what someone has done for them, and to see the children, saying thank you, and to know that the help of persons would have contributed to the welfare of these people. And it brings you to the point, to the awareness that, this world is becoming closer and closer. They are way back in Africa, yet it would seem, the connection has made it possible, to allow them to be part of our world. And
it's just amazing.
Yes.
It's just amazing to see, and sometimes, some of the stuff that we throw out, how critically important it is for someone else, somewhere else in the world.
Yes.
And my mind just goes to the amount of food that is discarded in America. And not because it's bad or spoiled, but just because it's past a best by date. And I've grown to understand best by doesn't mean that food is not good. It just means that it shouldn't be on the shelf after that particular date. And I remember managing the food bank in Grand Cayman over the years that I've been going there, Caroline. And, one day I walked in when I was first responsible, and I saw this huge jug of orange juice in the freezer. It had passed its expiry date by over 3 weeks. And I took it out of the freezer, carried it home to the apartment where I was staying, and I used that juice for the next 2 weeks. And it was fine. Orange juice. It was absolutely fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. And from that time on, I began to realize, a lot of what is dated and condemned is not, in essence, bad food. And I think of the poverty and the lack around the world, even here in Barbados, in some of our areas, where people can hardly get a morning meal. Some children are going to school hungry, right here in Barbados. And I really must say I'm really appreciative of the effort that Dave and Marcia, and they're to be commended.
Yes, and I trust Andrew Moore was saying to see people smiling, smiling and laughing. Yes.
Yeah, and realizing the condition that they're in compared to us.
Yes.
And how happy they are.
Yes. Yes.
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, man, if I stump my toe, I get upset here, and you have these kids running around, and so happy.
Yes.
They're
making the best. They're making the best of their situation. They're making the best of it.
Wow.
And I believe we all love to see people happy and smiling and laughing. And that brings us right back.
Right back.
That brings us right back to where we started. You know what? We've seen too many people in Barbados where the smiles have been removed from their faces. Their laughter is gone. And we need to pause and reflect and bring that smile.
And get that smile back on their faces.
Back on our faces. And we want to just, promote our pause and reflect day, National Heroes Day, and invite all persons to join us as much as is possible throughout the day. We want to let persons know that we stand with them. We want to encourage them. I know that there are lots of, we were talking earlier about the mental health issues that may come up, and there are lots of conditions that may come up, and there are people going through these different conditions. And I know we spoke about bipolar, and that is a personality disorder, you know, that is affecting persons, and it's one of the disorders that persons will be affected with you know, with all of the trauma that is coming up. You have PSTD, post-traumatic stress disorder. You have anxiety disorders, you have depression, you have personality disorders, you have people who are suicidal. So we have a lot to pause. We have
Yes, a lot to reflect on.
And reflect on, and to help persons, and to, you know, allow them to know where they can get help, because some people may have symptoms and don't even know what is going on. To help them, to bring them into awareness, and to help them to manage the situations that they are going through. So we are not just talking, we are really engaging.
Yes,
And
yes.
lifting persons from where they are at to a better place. So again, from 6 a.m., we're going to do some reflecting, or we're going to be praying. We're going to be having sessions throughout the day at 12 noon. We're going to have a stand still, silent, reflect session. And then at 6 p.m., of course, we'll have other sessions throughout the day of encouragement or whatever. And then we are inviting persons at 6 p.m. to join your community, join with someone, light a candle. If you are into lighting candles, you know, in remembrance of those persons, our national heroes, in remembrance of the persons who would have lost their lives. We will pray if you choose to, but we're going to be remembering together.
And I think that's the most important thing, that we can restore again that community. And I believe I have heard the Prime Minister make a call to that effect as well. And as we said, you know, when the time for commendation is there, we will commend. And when the time for criticism is there, we will criticize, and we will analyze, and we will question when the time is in place for that to occur. And we want to again both thank and commend the Prime Minister for canceling the event that her political party was planning for Tuesday on National Heroes Day. And we hope that she will publicly encourage the members of her party and the supporters of her party to take up this aspect as we pause and reflect and remember.
Yes.
And you know, as I go through the scripture, you know, God says a lot about remember from whence you came.
Oh, yes.
You know, he's always trying to encourage us to look back and see the journey. And, you know, I think it was John Maxwell that made the statement that success is not a destination, but it is a journey. And so we can look back as a country and we can see how successful we have been, not because we have arrived where we want to be, but we can see the journey that we have made and all that has happened, the legacy that all of our national heroes have left for us, and the examples that they have left for us. They weren't perfect. Yeah, we get it. Nobody is perfect. Okay, we get that. But because you're not perfect doesn't mean you haven't contributed to the values and the upkeep and the promotion and progress of your country. And we thank all of them. We thank God for every single one of them that contributed in whatever way they were chosen in terms of their skills and abilities to contribute to our nation. And as you said, Caroline, you know, the national anthem, we loyal sons and daughters all do hereby make it known, these fields and hills beyond recall are now our very own. Of course, you asked the question if that is still the case, and that gives us a chance to pause and reflect and see if we are losing the ownership of our country. Are we divesting of our national asset, which is our land, from St. Lucie to St. Michael and Christchurch? The national asset of Barbados is the land that we possess. Are we losing it to those who, in the name of investment, are locking us as Barbadians out of the access to certain aspects of our country? These are things that we ask as a result of being able to pause and reflect. And then, please go ahead.
And reset.
And reset. And as a result of that, we can begin to see what we can do. What do we want to be? What kind of a country do we want to leave for our children and our grandchildren and the great-grandchildren? Do we want to leave a country that is riddled with debt, even though we know that we might be able to get a loan for 40, 50 years, but is that wise? Is that the correct thing to do? You know, Carlin, my wife used to tell me, it is not what is right or what is wrong, it is often what is wise. You know, because everything that's right is not necessarily wise, you see. And so we need to really pay attention to the country that we want to develop as a people, not as a government, not as a political party, as a people. And I remind us as a people that since we became a republic, and it has always been by the people, of the people, for the people. That is what governance democratically, according to Abraham Lincoln when he made that famous speech, that is what good governance is all about. So again, I throw out the challenge to the Prime Minister to encourage her party, her colleagues, her members of her party to engage this process. You can still go to your picnics and so on, but keep in mind these moments of reflection, these moments of pause, and these moments of reset, and share together as a community all that we are going through, and share with those who we are, or maybe our neighbors who have lost loved ones, maybe on this bank holiday. Some of you in the community and the neighborhood could go to their home and let them know of your support through being present with them. And again, I leave the challenge with the Prime Minister. Ma'am, feel free to join us anytime between 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening on April the 28th, Tuesday, ma'am. We'd be happy to have you be a part of our work together as citizens of our country to make Barbados a better place, a place where people will want not only to come and visit, but to come and do business. So we want to thank you, ma'am, for hearing the cry of the people of your country and responding. Thank you so very much. Carolyn, I want to thank you again for joining me. I am so sorry that Apostle couldn't have jumped in here with us, and I did see some of the things he wanted to chat about, but we were rolling along so nicely, and I just felt to let it flow. And again, we are so grateful and thankful to those who were able to join us from Africa, from Kenya, from the school that Dave and Marcia have embraced and adopted, and by extension, we have adopted in Barbados and in the Caribbean. We want to thank Dave, you, and Marcia for the great work that you are doing in that part of the world. We commend you, and we will certainly continue to support your efforts there in that school project. Loyal opposition, thank you for being with us tonight. I don't know if Dave has a special song to take us out with that would be reflective of, I think there was a great one he started the show with, and I don't know if I can convince him to take us out with that one. Thank you again, Carolyn, for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure having you, and I look forward to sharing more Friday nights with you. I am going to take you away from Marcia and tell her that she won't be able to get you back because she'll be doing the other nights. If she wants to have you on the show, she'll have to join us here on Friday nights.
That's funny.
And of course, Apostle Scantlebury, you know, we certainly miss him being here tonight.
The
but
three of us.
Yes, I think she might have to look at joining us on Friday nights. Yeah, and being a part of.
We make a great team.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, thank you so very much.
Springs from unity.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's been a joy having you again. I've enjoyed all the times of sharing the show together with you and learning so many things and you might not even believe that I'm learning a lot from you in terms of your skill and your ability.
We learn from each other.
Yes, and the questions. You know, I was thinking tonight when you came on the show, you are our questioner. You are the one that's teaching us how to say things diplomatically in the form of a question. And I'm learning. Absolutely.
You wouldn't get in trouble.
Absolutely not. Well, God bless you, my dear. God bless you. Have a great night, and it's been a pleasure having you with us tonight. God bless you. And Dave, we turn over to you that you can take us out of the show tonight. We thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great weekend, guys.
Where love was found, where your grace came pouring down through the storm, through every loss. Lord, keep me near the cross. Lord, keep me near the cross. Oh, the blood still saving souls today. Oh, the cross where the stone was rolled away. Hallelujah, the victory was won when the Lamb of God said it is done. Near the cross, near the cross. Lord, keep me near the cross. Near the cross. Lord, keep me near the cross. Lord, keep me near the cross. Lord, keep me till your voice in heaven I hear. When my race on earth is done and the crown of life is won, I will sing forevermore. Thank you for the cross.